Update 3. At Easter dinner, my mom gushed, "Your sister just landed her dream job. When will you start trying?" I smiled and said, "I did, I just didn't tell anyone who'd doubt me." The table went dead silent. Jenny coughed and reached for her water. "Yes, just very boring, all business. We barely had time to see anything." I smiled and nodded like I hadn't just thrown a grenade into the middle of the conversation. "Sure, that's what you always say about Paris." The table shifted again, energy off kilter like someone had adjusted the room's gravity. It wasn't chaos, not yet, but the cracks were visible now. Jenny's perfectly curled hair didn't hide the flush creeping up her neck, and her voice had a slight tremble when she reached for the mashed potatoes and asked if anyone needed more. I let the silence linger for a second longer, then reached into my purse and pulled out a white envelope, clean, crisp, heavy with implication, the kind of envelope you only bring when you're tired of being invisible. "Mom," I said, voice clear but not loud, just enough to slice through the sound of silverware and artificial small talk, "since we're celebrating jobs, here's mine." I held it out across the table but didn't explain what was inside. I didn't need to, not yet. The ambiguity was the point because when people don't know what you're capable of, their imagination will always do more damage than the truth. Jenny stared at the envelope like it had a pulse. Mom looked confused, hesitant, even a little annoyed like I was interrupting something more important than my own career. I saw Charles glance at it too, his brow furrowed in that particular way that says a man's putting two and two together but not liking what he gets. But I didn't push. I just placed the envelope on the table, right between the gravy boat and the honey-glazed carrots, and went back to my wine like I hadn't just dropped a landmine on the linen. No one reached for it. That was fine, they would eventually. The envelope sat there like a dare nobody had the guts to open, untouched, taking up more space than the casserole dish beside it and more weight than any of the strained conversations circling around the table. I didn't rush it, didn't look at it, didn't nudge it forward with the kind of passive-aggressive insistence that would give them a reason to roll their eyes and dismiss it like everything else I'd ever done that didn't fit into their idea of acceptable, successful, or normal. I just waited, chewing slowly, sipping wine, acting like I hadn't detonated a device that was about to shift the tectonic plates beneath this entire family. Eventually, almost inevitably, Jenny couldn't help herself. She reached for the envelope with a manicured hand that was just a little less steady than before, the veneer cracking, the facade peeling just slightly around the edges. I watched her slide her finger under the flap with the kind of surgical precision she usually reserved for flipping through resumes or dissecting someone's dating history. She pulled out the papers, stacked sharp and intentional, and I watched the confidence drain out of her face like wine spilling from a broken glass. The first page was a screenshot of a feature article from Forbes, my face, my name, the headline glowing with terms like innovative, self-made, and six-figure wellness empire. The next page showed a cropped bank statement with monthly income deposits that didn't need context to make jaws drop. Under that, LLC paperwork, a client testimonial collage, and press mentions from wellness and tech publications they'd never thought I was smart enough to be in. Each page was a quiet scream that I had not only built something real but I had done it without their belief, without their guidance, and most insultingly to them, without their permission. Jenny tried to recover, flipping quickly through the pages like maybe if she moved fast enough they'd vanish, like this evidence of my worth could be blurred by speed. But it was all there, all real, all printed in ink. Mom leaned forward, eyebrows high, mouth tight in that way she always had when she was trying to look supportive but smelled something she didn't like. "Why would you keep this from us?" she asked, the way you might ask a